isn't it, when you're doing these things? Like people, when like people ask you to do it, just do a little video, and you're just like, yeah, it takes me
ages. Okay, right, here we go. Hello, Dominic here from the Bournemouth Writing Festival. Looking forward to welcoming you on the 26th, 27th and 28th of April 2024. Now, we have, as usual, lots of stuff for children. On Saturday, I'm screwed that up again. Sorry. Right, I won't stop. I'm just going to carry on and just edit it. Okay, right, here we go. Hello, Dominic here from the Bournemouth Writing Festival. Looking forward to welcoming you to Bournemouth on the 26th, 27th and 28th of April 2024. Now, like last year, we had lots of activities to inspire children to write. On Saturday this year, we have some writing events and activities with children's authors to bring your children along and get them to write. On Saturday, we have events at the Avenue Shopping Centre, and on Sunday, we have a beach walk for children on Sunday morning. So hopefully you can bring your children along to that. Now, outside of those activities, we also have our poetry hub, which is free and family friendly, and professional poets will be on hand to guide you and to get you and your children inspired by and even find out a little bit more about poetry. And then in the bandstand in the lower gardens, we have our poetry machine, and Beth will be on hand to write a poem for you. So if you have any words of inspiration, or if you want her to write a poem about anything, she will do it for you. And Mark Rutter and Judy Waite will be surrounding her with their typewriters. And Mark and Judy are from the University of Winchester, and you get a chance to write whatever you want, a poem, story, a few words, on those typewriters. And they're also working on a typewriter orchestra, so fingers crossed that happens. On Saturday, we have quite a few children's activities run by children's authors, and I'm glad to say that one of those authors is here with me today, Alex English. Now, Alex's children's activity is called Map Magic, Create Your Own Island of Adventure, which sounds fantastic. It's at 10 a.m. at the Avenue, and it's ideal for 6 to 11-year-olds. Now, Alex is a children's author of several children's picture books, including Yuck, Said the Yak, and Sky Pirates, whose main character is called Echo Quickthorn, which I think is fantastic. Her books have been shortlisted for the Dundee Picture Book Award and selected for by the Reading Agency for the Summer Reading Challenge. And the Bournemouth Writing Festival worked with the Reading Agency last year, so we know them well. She's also a screenwriter and a writing coach. So welcome, Alex. Nice to see you.
Hi, Dominic. Good to be here. I'm really excited about Bournemouth Writing Festival. It's not far from where I grew up in Hampshire, so I'm really excited to be there this year.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining us. So tell us a little bit about yourself first. And you got into children's picture books and then into a little bit of screenwriting. And so tell us a little bit about your writing journey.
So, well, I mean, I've always loved writing, actually, ever since I was quite a small kid. I always used to write quite a lot, but I only really came to writing as a job when I was on maternity leave with my son. So he's now 12. And that was when I wrote Yuck, Said the Yak, which was my first picture book. And I was just very lucky in that got picked up. And then I sort of went from there and sort of on a bit of a roll with it. But yeah, I've always loved writing. It's always been a hobby of mine before it became a job. And I'm often inspired by my kids or by other things that I see. I think Yuck, Said the Yak, the idea came from, there's a stuffed yak in a natural history museum, and I was just wandering around looking for ideas and came across the yak. But in my workshop, I'm going to be looking at using maps to make stories. So I was very, very pleased to see that Sky Pirates, my first kids novel, was one of those fantasy books with a map in the front, because I always love a book with a map in the front. So that's what kind of made me want to do this workshop.
Right, well, we'll come back to that in a minute. So I'm interested. So you started off with picture books, presumably, you said about starting to write when you had your first child. So did that kind of inspire you at that kind of young age to do picture? And then as he grew older, then you kind of went into kind of the novels?
Yes, it was kind of that. I think, I think I've definitely grown as they've grown, because I see what they read and what they're interested in. But I think also, I was quite into poetry and stuff as well, and I think picture books seemed more accessible because they're shorter. They are quite hard to write in a different sort of way to writing a novel, which is quite a long sort of extended process. So I was trying to also write novels at first, but I got the picture books published first. It took me a bit longer and a few more tries to get the novels right.
Yeah, I think I started off doing short stories, and then then the longer novels came, once you kind of got a bit more practice. Tell me, what do your children think of your books?
They do. Well, they tell me they're great. No, I think my older son has read the Sky Pirates books and he really likes them. They're both very into fantasy, and I often think about their interests when I'm writing. So I'm actually writing another book now, which is more kind of sci-fi. So that's again tapping into their kind of gaming interests. So I do try and bring that in. So yes, I mean they may be slightly biased, but I think they like them.
So you've obviously got a very vivid and fantastic imagination, and I love the title of your activity that you're going to be doing at the Writing Festival, which is Map Magic, Create Your Island of Adventure. So tell us a little bit about what's going to happen, what the kids will be doing.
Well, I did a workshop once before where we made treasure maps just as a sort of an aside, and everyone absolutely loved it. All the parents were doing it as well and doing their own maps. So that made me think it seems to be something that really fires up people's imaginations. And I do like the idea of coming up with a map and doing a bit of drawing, quite playful and creative, and then taking that and thinking what could happen here and what adventures could we go on. So yes, we're going to be doing some drawing and then using it as a springboard to create adventures. So thinking about what could go wrong in a place like this and how to get out of it.
So you're going to be starting the process off for them in your hour workshop, and then you're hoping them that they take the map away and then continue at home, and you've given them inspiration.
Sorry to don't. Yes, that absolutely. I think it's something which you can use and have maybe a bit of collaborative story making up as well. So not necessarily writing the whole story, but learning how we can use it to give us some ideas. Because I think often, certainly with my kids, when they're writing, the hardest, and with me as well, actually, to be honest, and most of the writers I know, the hardest thing is the blank page. Once you get going and start getting some ideas, it all becomes a lot easier. So I think that initial spark is really the thing I'm trying to inspire.
And I think the map's such a great idea because you can put so many things on the map, whether we think maps of, story and fiction in terms of treasure, but it could be adventures. Our school's writing competition is nature themed, and the theme is a giant albatross flies in over Dorset, and what adventures and what things could it see, and what animals could it see, and you kind of think about it as a landscape from above, and you can just picture all the different things that could happen.
Absolutely, and a lot of stories are based on journeys, and all stories are based on obstacles, and having a goal but having obstacles that get in your way on the way there. So I think a nice juicy X for where the treasure is a good goal, and putting some obstacles in the way is just a great way to start coming up with a story. So I'm excited too to get to my own.
Well, I'm excited, and I'm sure the children, and as you said, the parents might be excited as well. So with all of our children's activities, you only have to buy a ticket for the child. All parents are free. You do not need to buy a ticket for the parent or the carer or the guardian. So thank you so much, Alex. Her talk or her workshop is called Map Magic, Create Your Own Island of Adventure, and that's at 10 a.m. at the Avenue, and that is ideal for 6 to 11-year-olds. And again, it's only the child needs to buy the ticket, the adults go free. So thank you so much, Alex, for joining us today.
Brilliant, thank you, Dominic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in April.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you too, and it's great to talk to you. And to the rest of you, thank you so much for joining today, and hope to see you in April. Take care.